गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
त्यागशील सेवा व्रतधारी युवा जगे पुरुषार्थी।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
त्यागशील सेवा व्रतधारी युवा जगे पुरुषार्थी। वैज्ञानिकता विनय सभ्यता स्वभाव हो निस्वार्थी, स्वभाव हो निस्वार्थी। देशभक्ति में तेजस्वी हो फिर समाज यह सारा। गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
महावीर गोविंद शिवाजी बुद्ध गगन के तारे।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
महावीर गोविंद शिवाजी बुद्ध गगन के तारे। परंपरा की पुण्य चेतना उर में हम सब धारे।
नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि बोल।
नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि बोल। नारायण हरि, नारायण हरि, नारायण
जलज निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी बरनऊ रघुबर विमल जसु जोदायक फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीसति लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतई सम भाई सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर है सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानू प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होतन आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज संहारो आपे तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे चारों जुग पर ताप तुम्हारा है पर सिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता असवर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय।
जय श्री कृष्ण। परम पूज्य स्वामी गोविंद देव गिरी जी महाराज को शत शत नमन। On behalf of Geeta Pariwar, I, Namita Mehra from Mumbai, welcome all Geeta sadhaks for today's Vivechan Satra. Today, we are going to listen 9th chapter's second part. For the starting this session, I invite Karuna Bhattat ji for doing the starting prayer. Karuna ji from Yavatmal, Maharashtra. She is a homemaker and giving her seva as a core trainer in Geeta Pariwar. Karuna ji, you are most welcome. Please start the prayer.
वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् श्रीकृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। जय श्री कृष्ण।
Thank you, Karuna Didi, for the auspicious prayer. For the next, we are going to do Deep Prajwalan. Before starting the actual Vivechan Satra, we are going to do Deep Prajwalan. For Deep Prajwalan today, I am going to invite Manisha ji. Manisha ji from Pune is an electronic engineer and also a Sangeet Visharad. She is a homemaker now and giving her seva as tech in Geeta Pariwar since 2023. She is also a GC of L3 and a tech savvy in L2. I request Manisha Didi, please start Deep Prajwalan.
निषिद्धैरप्येभिर्लुलितमकरन्दो मधुकरैः करैरिन्दोरन्तश्छुरित इव सम्भिन्नमुकुलः विधत्तां सिद्धिन्नो नयनसुभगामस्य सदसः प्रकीर्णः पुष्पाणां हरिचरणयोरञ्जलिरयम् शरदिन्दुनिभां शुभ्रवस्त्रैरलङ्कृतां कलहंसकृतावासां वरदां शारदां नुमः।
Thank you, Didi. Now we are going towards the actual Vivechan Satra meaning of chapter 9. Before that, I want to inform you all the sadhaks that as you are learning Geeta in Geeta Pariwar, we are going to start our next batch of Geeta L1 is 7th June. 7th June, we are starting our 33 batch. And now the important information is we are going to start this session with 4 a.m. In the morning, 4 a.m. our classes will start. And now you can take your class at 9 a.m. also. So please inform your friends and relatives who are still not the part of Geeta Pariwar. Please let them join and take the advantage of Geeta learning. So now going towards our Vivechan Satra, as we know, we are fortunate to have Dr. Vikas Vaidya ji with us for today's Vivechan Satra. Vikas sir is a qualified mechanical engineer from Pune. She was NRI for more than 12 years, but now she resides in Pune. She owns himself a IT company. She knows more than 6 languages and she recites Geeta every day since 5 years. She is a senior core trainer in Geeta Pariwar selection and mentoring trainers, new trainer selection she is doing, and she is also teaching Vishnu Sahasranam. So I request Vikas Vaidya sir, please start the session ninth chapter meanings. So I request Vikas sir, please start the session. Thank you, sir. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं पूज्य स्वामी जी के चरण कमलों में कोटि कोटि नमन। We started discussing 9th अध्याय राजविद्या राजगुह्य योगो नाम. Last time we covered sloka up to 10. We understood why this is called Rajavidya and why this is called Rajaguhya. And Paramatma has started unfolding the Guhya, the secret of this Vidya. Last few slokas we understood. Najamasthani bhutani pashyame yogaisharam. So all those slokas what we said up to slok number 10, Paramatma has started unfolding the Rajavidya. We'll continue that with slok number 11 today. अवजानन्ति मां मूढा मानुषेन्तरुमाश्रितं परं भावमजानन्तो मम भूतमहेश्वरम्. अवजानन्ति मां मूढा मानुषेन्तरुमाश्रितं परं भावमजानन्तो मम भूतमहेश्वरम्. अवजानन्ति, do not know me, do not know. Mam is me. Avajananti, do not mama me. Mudha. Mudha is Mudha people who have little less understanding, or we can say in rough language, foolish people. Manushim, in the human form. Tanum, Tanu is body. Ashritam, Ashritam is to take refuge. Param, Param is super, transcendental. Bhavam, Bhavam is the nature. Avajananta, not knowing. Mama, my. Bhuta, of everything that exists in this universe. Maheshwaram, the Supreme Lord. So Paramatma says, Avajananti mam mudha manushintarumashritam param bhavamajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Fools, mudha, overlook me in my human form because they do not know my transcendental real essence as the Supreme Lord of all entities, all beings in this universe. They consider me as a human being like them. They see my human body with 2 legs, 2 hands, 1 head, all that, which is identical to what they also possess, and they feel that I am also an ordinary human being like them. Shri Krishna says, those who do not know my real nature, my true essence, for them, I am no more than an ordinary human being. On the other hand, those who know me, they know me as the immutable, imperishable Parabrahma. So devotees want to see Lord Krishna as being distinct. Bhakta, devotees, they want to see Krishna as being distinct and superior to them. Definitely Lord Krishna is superior to us, but Vedanta or Vedas, they stress on Advaita, Advaita, non-dualism. That means you and Paramatma are not two different entities. So Vedanta stresses on non-dualism, and thus Vedanta states that which resides in Lord Krishna, the same resides in you as well. So this is the crucial difference between the viewpoint of a Bhakta, a ordinary devotee like us, and a Jnani. The Bhakta, for Bhakta, Shri Krishna is the Supreme Lord, which is way above the ordinary Jiva. Main kaha, Lord Krishna kaha. So that is the feeling of normal Bhakta. The Lord is omniscient, He knows everything, Sarva Jnani hai, omnipotent, He has all the strength, all the power. Whereas, what am I? We are mere mortals and far, far, far inferior to Supreme God, Lord Krishna. That is the belief of a Bhakta. Now, if we go back to Adhyay number 1 of Bhagavadgītā, it clearly says about the depression, distress of of Arjuna, who was overcome by intense grief, and he refuses to wage war against his near and dear ones. In first Adhyay, we have seen this in details. And this was despite the fact that Lord Krishna himself was standing right in front of him. In spite of Lord Krishna being Ishvara, Here we are in the 9th chapter of Bhagavadgītā, where the Lord is still trying to dispel the clouds of attachment and ignorance from the mind of Arjuna. See, the Lord is also taking so much time to remove the attachment and ignorance from the mind of a human being like Arjuna. Shri Krishna is still trying to illuminate Arjuna's mind by talking to him about different paths. We are in 9th Adhyaya, remember that. So we have already discussed Karma Yoga in 3rd Adhyaya, Raja Yoga we are discussing now, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga we discussed in 2nd Adhyaya. So Shri Krishna is taking so much effort trying to make Arjuna see the truth by any which way. But he has come nearly half the way in 9th Adhyaya. The point we must understand is that Lord Krishna is Ishvara, of course, yes. Yet he could not dispel Arjuna's ignorance in an instant. Could he? No. Otherwise, Gita would not have been 18 Adhyayas and 700 shlokas. It would have been finished in one shloka. Arjuna is still asking questions, his inquiries, his doubts. And Lord Krishna is still trying to satisfy his inquiries. So let us try to understand that although Lord Krishna is the Supreme Chaitanya, he is Parabrahma, yet he does not transgress the boundaries of an individual human being of body and mind. He is not showing that he is Parabrahma. He is explaining Arjuna like an ordinary human being, trying to convince him with different logics. Some point in time, he also states that I am Parabrahma, but he again comes back to the role of a human being and still trying to convince Arjuna about the attachment and aversion as to how he should do away with those. See, if Shri Krishna would have spoken as the Parabrahma right from the 2nd Adhyaya, then there would have been no need for such a lengthy discourse of Bhagavad-gītā, isn't it? It could have been finished very quickly. But did it get? No. So in this shloka, Lord Krishna says, don't regard me as an ordinary human being, for in essence, I am the Parabrahma. Although I reside in this body, know that I am not this body. Although my body was born, but know that I am birthless. I am not this limited body, but rather I am the limitless Satchidananda Chaitanya, Parabrahma, which is all pervading base, foundation of this entire manifested universe. Shri Krishna further says, fools, they see me merely as a human being. And this is indeed very, very true, what Lord Krishna says in this shloka. The Pauravas and the people from their camps never saw Shri Krishna as anything other than a very lowly cowherd, Guraki, जो गाय भैंस चराने ले जाता है. And furthermore, they were skeptical even about his birth. They were doubting who is his father, raising doubt as to who his biological father was. Shri Krishna had to face all this right from his childhood days. But he never tried to reveal his real essence to his detractors, to Kauravas, or anyone who raised this kind of foolish doubts about him. See, the point is, what will be the outcome if we start reading some complicated theory? Say, for example, Einstein's theory of relativity. Einstein's theory of relativity is difficult to understand. But if you start telling that story of Einstein's relativity theory to a 3-4 year child, will you impress the child by doing so? No matter how educated the father is, but while talking to his child, he still speaks some gibberish language, isn't it? Which only his baby can understand. For the infant, he cannot understand anything at that age. So what is the point in telling something complicated to people who are mudha? So Krishna says, only a few know me who I am really. And fool thinks that I am no more than a mere human being. Such foolish people are oblivious, they are ignorant about my real nature. And then Lord Krishna goes on to describe his real essence, what exactly he is. That is the Supreme Parabrahma, which is the crux of this entire manifested universe. Further, Paramatma says, look number 12, Moghasha Mogha Karmano Mogha Jnana Vichetasah Rakshasi Masurin Chaiva Prakriti Mohinim Shritaha. Moghasha. Moghasha means Vyartha Asha. Mogha is futile, useless, baffled in their hopes. Moghasha, Vyartha Asha. Mogha Karmana, baffled by their sakam karma, which are Vyartha karma, futile karma. Mogha Jnana. So Asha, Karma and Jnana are all futile. For whom? Vichetasaha, the bewildered, confused people. Rakshasim, Asurim, the demoniac and Asuri. Cha and Prakritim, the nature. Mohinim. Mohinim is Mohini, caught in the attraction or the bewilderment. Shritaha is to take shelter. So Paramatma says, deluded, ignorant, who have futile hopes, Mogha Asha, futile actions, futile karma, Mogha Karmana, and futile knowledge, Mogha Jnana. They assume the captivating cosmic nature of Rakshasas and Asuras. So people who are having futile hopes, futile karma and futile knowledge, Lord Krishna is calling them as Rakshasa or Asuras. What does it exactly mean? We'll see in the next shloka when we go to. So further, Paramatma says in slok number 13, Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritimashritah vajantinanya manuso jnatva bhutadimavvyayam. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritimashritah vajantinanya manuso jnatva bhutadimavvyayam. Mahatman. Mahatman is the great soul. Two means what? Mam. Mam means to me. Daivim. Daivim is divine. Prakriti. Prakriti we know already. Nature. Ashrita. Ashrita is to take shelter. Bhajanti. Bhajanti is to render some devotional service. Ananya manasa. Without deviation of mind. Single pointedly focused mind is Ananya manasa. Jnatva. Jnatva is knowing. Bhuta. Bhuta means all the created entities. Adim. Adim is the origin. Avyayam is Avinashi, imperishable, inexhaustible. So Paramatma says, earlier shloka we read Moghasha Mogha Karmana Mogha Jnana Vichetasaha Rakshasi Masurin Chaiva Prakriti Mohinim Kirtaha. That was the description of Rakshasas and Asuris who have futile hopes, futile karma and futile jnana. In contrast, Paramatma says in this shloka, the Mahatmas, that means people who are jnani, who are awakened beings, they take refuge in my divine nature. And knowing me as the eternal, imperishable cause of all that exists in this universe, they worship me continually with an unfaltering, single-pointedly focused mind, which is devoted to absolutely nothing else but to me only. So this is the comparison of Asuri, Rakshasas, and the people who are awakened beings, who are jnanis. They have understood the Paramatma. Now, with respect to their inherent nature, there are two types of human beings in the world. There are those whose nature is demoniac, Asuri, and others who have a noble or righteous disposition. So two types of people are there in the world. The former, that means these Rakshasi people, they engage in some kind of pointless, futile activities, vain actions and hopes, harboring vain, worthless knowledge, which is of no use. See, how to make money unethically, how to defraud the tax department, how to carry out our illegal activities without being caught. Even this is a kind of knowledge. No? Of course, this is also a kind of knowledge. But Paramatma calls this as a futile knowledge, useless, worthless, bekar. So it is common to read about such fraudsters who cheat, who dupe the government and get caught after many, many years. They cheat the government for 10, 15, 20, 25 years and someday they get caught. But this is knowledge. But it is this kind of knowledge that Lord Sri Krishna is deeming as demoniac, asuri, futile, worthless, moghasha, mogha karmano, mogha jnana. This is that mogha jnana. And it is a known fact that a person who harbors this kind of knowledge, who has this kind of knowledge, he will then accordingly carry out his karma, his activities also unrighteously. Some nefarious act he will conduct through him. Thus, if his knowledge is futile, worthless, then his actions also will be futile and worthless. Isn't it? The karma that he does is based on the knowledge that he possesses. And if the knowledge he possesses is futile, then all his karma will also be futile, worthless. And furthermore, so will be the hopes and expectation from this world. So, it is these people of futile actions, mogha karmana, futile hopes, moghasha, and futile knowledge, mogha jnana, that Lord Krishna deems as assuming the demoniac nature of Rakshasa and Asuras. Krishna adds that it is as if they are mesmerized by their prakriti. And this they get confused, deluded in carrying out some futile, worthless acts. And they consider that, yes, this is the right way of living the life. Keeping on doing these futile actions is the way of living the life. This is what their prakriti becomes, nature becomes. But then in this same very world, there is another group of people, another genre of people who are noble beings, being of sattvic disposition. So where there are asuras and rakshasas, there are some suras also, some devas, some jnani people also. And such noble beings, Lord says, they, knowing me to be the imperishable cause and the origin of this universe, they are continually, single-pointedly engaged in my devotion. See, Parabrahma existed even before the individual form of Lord Krishna came into existence. Lord Krishna was born, say, around 5,500 years back or 5,600 years back also. But even then, Lord Krishna does not say they are devoted to Parabrahma. He says they are devoted to me. This is the unique beauty of Bhagavadgītā. Because no one other than Shri Krishna has ever made a categorical statement that the base, the foundation of this entire world, entire universe, entire Srishti, of all the states, say waking, dreaming, keeping sleep, is none other than me. He says me, not Parabrahma, me. So it is the transcendental glory of Lord Krishna that he can very candidly and unapologetically say that without this thing, without mincing any words. He says they are offering their devotional service to me. And what's more, this very statement reflects the total absence of egoism in Lord Krishna. He is completely not focusing on his individual antakaran as Krishna, friend of Arjuna, sitting in front of him. Rather, he is not himself as an individual body and mind, but as the universal cosmic consciousness. And he speaks from that very plane of cosmic consciousness, not merely from the body and mind that he is having in the incarnated form of Paramatma, in the form of Krishna as friend of Arjuna. He is talking at a much higher level of cosmic consciousness when he says, devoted to me. Further, sloka number 14, Krishna says, Satatan kirtayanto mai yatantashta drudhavrataha namasyantashta mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Satatam, always, kirtayanta, to keep chanting, to keep saying, to keep singing, mama, about me, yatanta, to keep involved in, to keep trying for it. Drudhavrataha, with full determination. Namasyan, to offering namaskar, obeisance, namaskar, mama, me, bhaktya, in devotion, nityayukta, always engaged. Upasate is to worship. So Paramatma says, always chanting my glory, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, unceasingly trying with unfailing determination, Dhrudha and humbly offering their obeisance, that is their namaskar. Such resolute devotees, they steadfastly worship me with utmost devotion. Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, Yatantascha Dhrudha Namasantascha Mam Bhaktya Nitya Yukta Upasave. So those who saw Lord Krishna only as an ordinary human being could never know his real essence. There is a classic example of Shishupal. We know Shishupal's story, who was one of the Krishna's staunch detractors, critic. When Yudhishthira decided to perform a large-scale yajna in his kingdom of Indraprastha, the question arose as to who should be accorded the prime place of honor and who should be the first to be worshipped. So Yudhishthira put forth the name of Lord Krishna. Pitama Bhishma, he readily backed his choice. But Shishupal stood up in the Sabha and started hurling so many abuses at Lord Krishna. Now the Lord has promised Shishupal's mother that he would forgive 99 of his papa karma. Thus he patiently and calmly kept on counting the number of abuses being hurled at him by Shishupal. And when Shishupal uttered the 99th abuse, Shri Krishna warned him to stop. Shishupal, stop, enough is enough. But the deluded Shishupal that he was, he continued defiantly and had to face the inevitable consequence of his head getting beheaded at the hands of Lord Krishna. So thus there were those demoniac disposition who could not see Krishna as anything rather than only a mortal human being. Shishupal was one of them, and he had to fit the consequence. And then there were those few awakened beings who knew his cosmic essence, and thus they were unceasingly devoted to him, like Arjuna was, or all of Pandavas were. Now, how can a devotee regularly worship the Lord? Satatam Kirtayan. So how can they regularly worship the Lord? A devotee's worship commences right from the moment he wakes up in the morning. The first thing the devotee does on waking up is to fold his hands, bow down his head, offer his namaskaram, obeisance to the Almighty, to the Parabrahma. And then in the auspicious period of just before Surya sunrise, when the sky is suffused with first flush of sunlight, the devotees, they take the splendor of his beloved Lord, their Ishta Devata would be Lord Krishna himself. And again, a prayer of gratitude emerges from his heart, of the devotee's heart. Likewise, the devotees first praise the divinity in the water before entering the water body for bathing. Before people used to enter the river, they would do namaskar to the river and then enter. See, India is perhaps the only country in the world where even the trees, the rivers, the mountains are worshipped. What's more, seeing the goddess in her, a devotee bows down even to the young girl. We do Kanya Puja. We must have seen recently on TV, Yogi Aditya, he did the Kanya Puja and he touched the feet of even 6-7-year-old girls. So a devotee salutes the young and old alike, seeing the Lord in all beings. That is the basic. India is the only country where this kind of worshipping goes on. And this is the only place where we worship the mountains, the rivers, the trees. And India is the country where one derives joy by saluting others. By doing namaskar to others, we get some kind of joy. And we do that namaskaram to human beings, to animals, to rivers, to trees, to mountains, everywhere. Even the seat on which we sit and say Geeta, to that seat also we do namaskaram. So humbly saluting beings, things, deities, gurus, everything we do salutations. The devotee cooks his food, being absorbed in the remembrance of his beloved Govinda. He first offers it to the Lord and then only eats the cooked food, regarding this as the prasad of Govinda. The joy of bowing down, the joy of saluting has been enjoyed probably only in the eastern part of the world. The West has remained bereft of it. It's because other than India, this part of culture is also there in countries like Japan, Thailand, Sri Lanka, or even parts of China. Because they mostly followed Buddhism, and Buddhism originated from Sanatana only, Hindu Dharma. So it is not seen in the West where people shake hands instead. And that too, shaking hand has originated from Roman culture. So Shri Krishna says, my devotees sees in me everything and every being, and thus he salutes me again and again, seeing only me in every form. The one who sees the formless Lord in all forms is the real devotee. That is what Lord Krishna says in this shloka. Next shloka. Jnanayatena chapyanye yanto mamupasate ekatvena pruthatvena bahudha vishvato mukham. Ekatvena pruthatvena bahudha vishvato mukham. Now this is important. See, all through Jnana Yajna, let us say understand what is the Jnana Yajna chapyanye yanto mamupasate ekatvena pruthatvena bahudha vishvato mukham. Jnana Yajna. By cultivation of knowledge is Jnana Yajna. Reading of Bhagavadgītā is a Jnana Yajna. Lord Krishna says this in 18th Adhyaya, that those who read Jnana Yajna, those who read Bhagavadgītā, they are performing Jnana Yajna for me. Api is definitely, certainly, Yajanta. Yajanta is to sacrifice. Mama is me. Upasate. Upasate is to worship. Ekatvena, in oneness. Pruthatvena, opposite of that. Separately, individually, in duality. Bahudha, in many people, in diversity. Vishvato mukham, in the universal form. Vishvato mukham. So what is it? And through Jnana Yajna, they worship me either as one divinity, Ekatvena, abiding in all forms everywhere, or they worship me as the distinct Supreme Lord of all beings, Pruthatvena, existing separately in all or all in me. So Ekatvena or Pruthatvena. All, they keep remembering me in many other ways. So there are two types of Mahatmas, the Jnani and the Bhakta. The Jnani, having experienced, known the oneness of himself with the Parabrahma, he abides in the constant remembrance of Parabrahma. He does not treat Parabrahma as separate from him. So this is the Advaitavad. Advaita means two. Advaita is two. Advaita means one. So normal people like us, we consider ourselves as different and Paramatma is different. The Jnani people, they follow Advaitavad. They consider Parabrahma is in me, I am in Parabrahma. So we are one. While Bhakta, the devotee, on the other hand, he has a dualistic view, Advaita Bhav, about the God being his supreme master, supreme Lord. And thus he worships the Lord, seeing himself as the Lord's servant. मैं आपका भक्त हूँ, मैं आपका दास हूँ, मैं आप जैसा नहीं हूँ, मैं आप नहीं हूँ, मैं परमात्मा नहीं हूँ. So that is what his feeling is. So this is the principle of duality, Dvaita Bhav. In addition, there are other ways of being in his remembrance. Lord Krishna talks about these ways, as to what are the ways people remember him in the next shloka, shloka number 16. Paramatma says further, Aham kraturaham yajnasvadaham aushadam mantroham evajya ahamagniraham bhutam. Aham kraturaham yajnasvadaham aushadam mantroham evajyam ahamagniraham bhutam. Aham is I. Kratu, the Vedic ritual, sattvic karma, or a type of yajna is also Kratu. Yajna is yajna, sacrifice we do. Swadha. Swadha is the offering that we make in the yajna. Swadha. Aushadam, the healing medicine or mantra, The chanting mantra we know already. Ajam is ghee, refined butter, what we call. Agni, fire. Hutam is the process of offering in the yajna. Is hutam. So Lord says, I am the Vedic ritual. I am the subject Vedic ritual. I am the sacrifice. I am the yajna. I am the food offering made in the for departed ancestors, for our Pitars, we offer prasadam on their annual day. Paramatma says, I am the food offering made to the departed ancestors. I am the aushadam. I am the healing medicine, herb. I am the mantra. I am the ghee, clarified butter that is offered in the yajna. I am the fire. And I am also the material that is offered in the yajna. The process of offering is also me. Now, carrying out Vedic rituals is also a way of worshipping the God. The one performing the rituals or the yajna and the materials offered in the fire, the mantra chanted while doing the oblation, the havan, the doer and the deed is all me. So aham krutara yajna sudaham amokshadam mantro hamahmai vajya aham akviraham hutam. Everything that is performing yajna is everything me. Let us proceed on to slok number 17. Pita hamasya jagato mata dhata pita maha vedyam pavitram onkara ruksami vacho. Paramatma says Pita. Pita is father, we know. Aham is I. Asya of his jagata. Jagata is universe, samsar. Mata is mother, of course, we know. Data. Data is maintainer, the supporter. Pitamaha, grandfather. Vidyam. Vidyam means something which is to be known, worth knowing. The goal of our knowing that is known. Vidyam. Pavitram is that which purifies. Onkar. We know Om, that is Onkar. Ruk is Rukved. Sam is Samved. Yeju is Yejurved. So Paramatma says, Pita hamasya jagato mata dhata pita maha vidyam pavitram onkara ruksam yujire. I am the begetter, the father of this universe. I am the mother of this universe. I am the grandfather of this universe. I am the supporter. I am the nurturer of this universe. I am the essence to be known. Vidyam. Vidyam is, I am the essence, what is to be known. I am the purifying syllable Om. I am the Rigved, I am the Samved, and I am the Yajurved. So Paramatma is unfolding what exactly he is. I am the father of this universe. So is the son somewhere else then? I am the begetter, I am the supporter, I am the nurturer of this universe. Then is the destroyer somebody else? If Paramatma said I am the supporter, creator, nurturer, then the destroyer of this universe is somebody else than Paramatma. The destroyer is also Lord. The creator, the nurturer, the supporter, the destroyer is none other than the supreme divinity, Lord Shri Krishna, Paramatma. This is the entire game is being played by someone else and not by us at all. We consider that I am doing this. So let us discard our I, and see that the father, the grandfather, the mother, the progenitor, the nurturer, the supporter of this entire world is none other than the omniscient, omnipotent Lord. What's more, the Vedas as well as the one learning the Vedas, that too is me. That is what Paramatma says, Lord Krishna says. Thus, this entire Leela is of the Almighty Divinity, who is the experiencer, who is the experience, and who is the experienced. अनुभव लेने वाले वही है, अनुभव स्वयं वही है, और जो अनुभव होता है वो अनुभव स्वयं वही है. एक्सपीरियंसर वही है, एक्सपीरियंस वही है, और जो एक्सपीरियंस्ड हुआ है वो भी वही है. पितामहस्य जगतो माता धाता पितामह विद्यम पवित्रम ओंकार वृक्षामि यजरेव. श्लोक नंबर 18. गतिर भर्ता प्रभु साक्षी निवास शरणम सुरत प्रभव प्रलय स्थानं दानं बीजम अव्ययम् I am the goal worth attaining. I am the Lord. I am the nurturer, the sustainer of all that exists in this universe. I am the abode, Ashrayasthan of all beings. I am the refuge of all beings. I am the witness. I am the creation. I am the resolution. I am the base foundation, and I am the imperishable seed of this universe. Vatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Surat Prabhava Pralaya Sthanam Nidhanam Bijam Apriya. That is the goal, the destination. Bharta is the sustainer. Prabhu is the Lord, of course. Sakshi is witness. Nivas is the staying place, the abode. Sharanam is to surrender, refuge. Surut, the most intimate friend, who is caretaker of you, who thinks good about you. He cares about you. Prabhava is creation. Pralaya is dissolution. Sthanam, the ground, the place. Nidhan is the resting place. Bijam is the seed, and Avyayam is imperishable. So Supreme Parabrahma, which is the truth, which is the bliss, all-knowing and ever conscious, is imperishable, indestructible seed. It is the cause and effect. It is the creator, the nurturer, the destroyer. That too is none other than the Supreme Divinity, Parabrahma. See, this entire drama of life, this entire play is such that all aspects of this play originate from only one source, and that is Parabrahma. We see the movie on TV or in the theater, and after the movie, we see the list scrolling on the screen. Who has produced, who is the director, who is the music director, who is the lyricist, actors, long list, supporting actors, everything. We see a long list of people. The director, the producer, the actors, the props, the stage, the screen, the audience in this grand cosmic drama is none other than Parabrahma, Bhagavan Shri Krishna. None other than him. Next loka, 19. Tapamyaham varshan nigrunnami srijami cho amrutai chaiva mrutyascha rathachaham arjuna. Tapami. Tapami is to give heat. Aham is I. Varsham is rain, of course. Nigrahani. Nigrahani means to withhold, to restrict, to regulate, to restrain. Usrujami, to send for. Amrutam, immortality. Mrityu, death. Sat, the spirit, the soul. And Asat, that means the material, matter, the body or the Srishti. Sat and Asat. So Paramatma says, Tapamyaham varshan nigrunnami srijamita amrutai jeva mrityashcha sadasaccha hamartyu. As the sun, I exude heat. I heat the universe. I retain and release the rain. How? The heat causes evaporation of the sea water, which creates the form of cloud, and the same water falls on the earth. So, Paramatma is giving heat to sun and also causing and retaining and releasing of the rain. I am the eternal life and death also. I am the truth and I am the untruth as well. Now, this is the real nature, the veritable essence of Parabrahma. It is not only the truth, but also untruth. It is not only the char, but achar also. It is not only the life, but death also. We all consider, probably wrongly, definitely wrongly, that Parabrahma, Paramatma is all goody-goody, sweet. Like Lord Krishna, we see his photo, playing the flute, having a great smile on his face, a crown on his head. But when we read the 11th Adhyaya of Bhagavadgītā, we understand the tamasi swarupa of Paramatma. Showing the warriors in his mouth, the blood is coming out, some heads are getting stuck in the cavities of his teeth, between the teeth. So that is the tamasi swarupa. So nothing in this world is other than Paramatma. Good, bad, ugly, everything is Paramatma. We come to know it in the Vibhuti Yoga also, 10th Adhyaya. So whether it is day or night, inert or sentient, Jiva or Ishvara, everything is Parabrahma. Parabrahma is all encompassing, all occupying. There is nothing that is not Parabrahma. Nothing can exist in the absence of Parabrahma. I am the sun, but the darkness also is none other than me. I am the light, the darkness is also me. If knowledge is Parabrahma, the ignorance is also Parabrahma. After all, what is standing of light if there is no darkness? And what is the standing of knowledge if there is no ignorance? What is the standing of Achara when there is no Achara in this universe? See, now this I of Lord Krishna is not the I of Antakaran I. The impure I that we speak in our day-to-day language, it is emerging from our Antakaran. I means we consider this body as I. But Shri Krishna, the I is transcendental, cosmic, way beyond the Antakaran. This transcendental I of cosmic self is the purest of pure. However, as long as this impure, egocentric, ego-driven I exists in us, we will not know this pristine I of Parabrahma. In this sloka, Lord Krishna explicitly states that there is nothing which is not Parabrahma. Everything is Parabrahma. Truth or untruth, manifest or unmanifest, real or unreal, sat, asat, inert or sentient, darkness or light, knowledge or ignorance, all Parabrahma, all Brahma, nothing else but Parabrahma. Next sloka, sloka number 20. Vidyā māṁ somapah pūtapāpā yajñairistvā svargatim prārthayante te puñyamāsādya surendra lokam ashnandya devyanti videva bhoga. Vidyā. Which Vidya? Three Vidyas are knower of three Vidyas, that is three Vedas. Mam, me. Soma, pa. Pa means to drink. Drinker of Soma juice. Puta. Puta is purified. Papa of sins. Yadde is sacrifices. Ishtva, to worship. Swargatim, going to the heaven. Passage to the heaven. Prarthayanti, to pray for. Punyam. Punyam is punya, pious. Surendra. Surendra is Devata, Indra Bhagwan. Lokam. Loko is the word. Ashnanti. Ashnanti is to basically eat, but here the word is Ashnanti means to enjoy. Divyam. Divyam is divine, celestial. Divi. Divi is heavens. And Deva Bhoga, the pleasures of demigods. This is a very important sloka. Vidyā māṁ somapah pūtapāpā yajñairistvā svargatim prārthayante te puñyamāsādya surendra lokam ashnanti divyan divi deva bhoga. The knower of three Vedas, the performance of Vedic rituals, the drinkers of Soma, that is ambrosia. No, Soma is not wine. No? Many people misunderstand Soma is wine or some alcohol. There is a Soma Vanaspati in Himalaya, and the juice of that Soma Vanaspati is considered to be pious. So it is that Somaras. Purified of sins and desires of gaining entry into heavens, they worship me through yajñas, and as a reward of their virtuous karma, their sattvic karma, they reach the celestial spheres of Indra, that means heavens, where they enjoy the heavenly pleasures which are enjoyed by the demigods. This is the word-to-word meaning of the sloka. Now the rituals detailed in three Vedas are intended to engage the religiously inclined people into performing some sattvic karma, some righteous act. ये करेंगे तो आपको स्वर्ग प्राप्ति होगी, and we follow that because we are all having that desire of attaining the heavens. Now, who will be interested in performing them? Only those who are purified of all sins will want to carry out these sattvic karma, acts of merits. In earlier slokas, Lord has already described two types of people. One is asuras with demoniacal tendencies, and the other noble disposition people. Now, those with brutal dispositions and they have some envy, malice, anger, animosity in their mind, they are having asuri vritti. But naturally, such people who themselves burn in the fire of negativity, asuri people, cannot give anything positive in their life. They cannot give any comfort. They cannot give any benediction to others. On the contrary, the sattvic people, those who are nobly inclined, are in their nature compassionate, humble, kind, and thus they give warmth, they give comfort, and they give benediction to others. So this is the difference between asuric people and sattvic people. And it is such righteous ones who carry out the karma sanctioned and advocated in our scriptures, in our Vedas. Such karma which enhances the quantum of our sattva guna and augments one's positive attributes is called vidhayak karma. Vidhayak karma. On the other hand, the actions which amplify the negative qualities and reinforce the asuri pravritti in us are called nishiddha karma. So vidhayak karma and nishiddha karma. A person with barbaric disposition, he shows his sadistic traits to the choice of his actions. For example, for no reason, he will start throwing stones at a harmless dog who is just sitting on the road, but this fellow, while passing from there, he will just throw a stone at him. No reason. Or he will snatch the old man's stick who is walking on the street. He will pull his stick. Or he will pilfer the fruits of a vendor who is selling some fruits. He will just pick up some fruits from him for no reason. Or he will take fight with somebody on the road for no reason. What's more, he enjoys and he takes great delight in such actions. It is both majaya. This is what life is. And such is the propelling force of their innate demoniac tendencies, that even if they want to, they are unable to engage in some righteous, some sattvic karma, because their innate nature has become like asuri. Likewise, there is an inherent goodness in people of virtuous disposition, sattvic people, that no immoral act ever happens through them, not even inadvertently. You cannot compel such a person to go through some papa karma, or doing anything which is immoral, unethical, or improper. See, Yudhishthira was a classic example of this, often quoted as Maharaj, paragon of virtuosity. In the war of Mahabharata, at one point, Lord Shri Krishna asked him to tell a lie. What lie? Saying that the Ashwatthama has been killed. But Yudhishthira point blankly refused to comply with this lie. He said, I will not say this lie, that Ashwatthama has died. Dronacharya was exceedingly attached to his son Ashwatthama, and it was to unsettle his mind from the war that Shri Krishna advised that this lie be told that his son has been killed, Ashwatthama has been killed. Now, before we blame Dronacharya for his attachment, let us see our own mind and where we are all tied up with the rope of attachment. Often we end up doing things only under the compulsion of attachment. See, all the ropes of bondage, see where all we are stuck, and then work on cutting these ropes of attachment, snapping them swiftly with a sword of dispassion, with a sword of discriminative wisdom, viveka buddhi. It is mentioned in our scriptures that after getting the eldest son married, the householder who is the chief of that family, who wishes to dedicate his life for a spiritual cause, he wants to march ahead on the path of spirituality, he should move into the next phase of vanaprastha. This means that he will be spending more time with spirituality, with his guru, doing spiritual practice. In fact, should he stay at home, then again, he should regard it as if he is staying in a forest with minimum interaction with the members. His attention should be continually on cutting down the bondages of his mind, even if staying in the family. Be grateful that our life has not come to an end so far. We are still all alive, and we have the opportunity to free ourselves from this kind of attachments in life. But on the contrary, even after getting all our children married, we still remain stuck in our grandchildren, our business, or our home. Thus, we do not give priority to our spiritual practice. We give priority to our attachments. And it is what Gita teaches us to cut down this attachment and to focus more on the spiritual practice. See, Bhagavad-gītā is teaching all this fine. People go and attend the discourse. Someday they don't go. And if they are asked, why you did not come yesterday for the discourse, you are coming every day regularly, or your children are abroad, both you and your wife, they are listening to the discourse very honestly every day, you are interested in listening to that, then why do you keep bunking now and then? The person will say, oh, our children are not here, one is in Australia, one is in America, one is in Canada, but we have our pet dog at home. How can we leave him behind every day? Someday we have to take care of him, our dog. Okay, if that is so, then worship your dog. It is true that children have left, and so get along with the pet to fill the vacuum and get attached to him. Earlier you were getting attached to your son and daughter, now get attached to the dog. Choice is yours. See, the children want to lead their life in their own way. We keep expecting them to live our way and desire that they will look after us. When they don't do so, that hurts us. So let us change the way we think. We have not done any favor by giving them birth or bringing them up. Have you done a deal with them that we have given you the birth, educated you, so in return, you have to look after us in our old age? Have you done a contract with them? See, it is just our thinking. But if they have their own thinking and views, and then we keep interfering in their lives, they may not like it. Sometimes they may get mad at you. And soon a day comes and they say, let us part our ways, we cannot live under the same roof. You go your way, I go my way. What happens is that the expectations of parents keep on growing day by day. But in today's scenario, prospective parents should bear in mind that their son or daughter, whosoever offspring get born, might leave them at any time. So be wise. Give birth realizing well that the child might not stay with you or look after you. Some of you may say, are we mad? First keep the child for 9 months in the mother's womb, then spend 20, 21 years on his education. Give our life raising to him. How can we can just walk away from our life? So let us understand and reflect that if you expect your children to bring your parents' bliss, then this is your own selfish interest. And if you truly want your share of parental bliss, then raise your children unconditionally. If your children stay with you, that's great. But if they don't, then at least you will not suffer if you have this thought in your mind. Our Rishi Munis have said in very minute details the tradition of Vanaprasthashram. It is the preparation that begins much before. While staying in home, yet under those very circumstances, detaching one's mind from the family life is Vanaprasthashram. Slowly preparing the children to become self-reliant, fulfilling the duties with the great care. Right from the very young age, the father would impress upon his eldest son that as per scriptures, once he is matured enough, he would be given the responsibility of running the household, as well as looking after his small children, brothers and sisters. And these views were inculcated in the child in such a way that he will be happily ready to send off his parents to live in the Vanaprastha ashram. No fights. Vanaprastha ashram, happily sending them there. In the course of Vanaprastha ashram, if the parents feel that their mind is now completely attachment free, then they may opt for sannyas. That is the fourth stage of ashrams. the scriptures describe and endorse this tradition that after Vanaprasthashram, sannyas. So this is how we have to learn. Now, as per the Vedic teaching, 4 stages, 4 ashramas of life are described, called ashramas in the system. The first stage is about Brahmacharya, celibacy. The next is Grihasthashram, then Vanaprasthashram, and last is sannyas. When we say of Brahmacharya, celibacy, if taken literally, it is no big deal to understand what is celibacy. Apparently, celibacy means no sexual activity. But it is not just about refraining from physical intimacy. In fact, one can be brahmachari provided he is living with his guru, studying, learning, and preparing himself for the higher knowledge. That is also brahmachari. That is why we had tradition of living in the Gurukul. But even in the present scenario, youngsters have started dating in their early teens. And by the time they are 18, they are already in some kind of physical relationship. More of the premarital sex, the extramarital sex affairs are fairly common these days. Can it therefore be said, see, Sant Kabir used to say that a eunuch means important, can never experience having relationship with the opposite sex because of underdevelopment of his whatever physical incapability he has. Can it therefore be said that the eunuch, simply because never having the experience of sexual activity, has attained higher knowledge? He is Brahmachari per se is Brahmachari, no sexual activity for him. So has he attained the highest knowledge? Does that imply that he has attained the ultimate? It's not true. So at least those who call themselves as Sanatani, as Hindus, they should follow the rules as laid down by our great sages seers. Whereas there is no institution or system of sannyas among other religions, say for Sikhism, but other religions also preach this, that sannyas should be taken mentally. You don't have to go to forest. You can live in the family, but mentally you should take attachment-free life. That is also sannyas. And in this shloka, Lord Krishna is saying that the noble people of virtuous disposition who continue to engage in doing some vidhayak karma, prescribed duties, but naturally they then reap the benefits, the fruits of their meritorious karma, good acts. And the fruit is that they gain entrance to the heavens, where they get to enjoy those very celestial pleasures which are ordinarily enjoyed by the demigods. See, the train has both types of coaches, the general coach and the first class coach. The general coach is very basic, whereas the first class coach offers a great deal of comfort and luxury with the air conditioning, free toiletries, refreshments, food, snacks, soft drinks. But all the comforts notwithstanding, a first class coach is as much a part of the train as is the general coach. They have the same engine and thus they travel in the same direction. Furthermore, whether you are sitting in general class or first class, you will have to endure the rocking movement of the train, the same jerks, the jolts of the moving and halting train. What's more, if the train was to meet with an accident, you will selectively injure only the general class people and not the first class people. So, taking corollary to this, worldly life is akin to general class coach, whereas the heaven is analogous to the first class coach. So one performs virtuous acts, does charity, benediction, some dana dharma, and what is the award he gets? He gets to travel by the first class. That means he gets the heaven. And how long will he stay there? The duration of his stay is dependent on the accrued merits, the punya karma that he has accumulated. Once that runs out, he is sent back to the general class. to the human life again. So the final destination of our train in which we have started traveling is self-realization. And until and unless our train does not reach that final destination of self-realization, the journey of our life will keep on continuing. Very incredible train we are traveling on. Thus, we cannot afford to forget our goal, our final destination. Otherwise, our journey will go on and go on and go on endlessly. We have to attain that station of self-realization as quickly as possible. But the problem is, we have forgotten our real self. And we regard ourselves as make-believe body and mind as our identity. Just presume that everything that is happening around us, but are we really knowing ourselves? This is a small story, or let me tell you this story after the Viveka is over, if the time permits, about how we don't know ourselves well. So there is a story about it, which we'll discuss some other time. Let us proceed on to the next sloka, 21. But actually in slok 21, Paramatma has said that those virtuous people who carry out all kinds of merit, they get to enjoy the fruits of their sattvic karma, their punya karma, by attaining heavens, heavenly places. But how long? That Paramatma says in the next sloka, slok number 21. Etam bhuktva svargalokam vishalam kshine punye mardalokam vishanti evan trayi dharma prapanna gata gatang kama kama labhante. How long they will enjoy this? That Paramatma is clarifying in this sloka. Te means they. Tam is that. Bhuktva. Bhuktva is to enjoy. Svargalokam. Svarga, the heavens. Vishalam, vast. Kshine. It is to start reducing, getting exhausted. Punya. Punya is the results, the reward of your pious karma. Punya. Martilokam. Murtilok. Earth. Vishanti. To come down, to fall down. Evam. Thus. Three Vedas. Dharmam. Dharmamay, doctrines of Dharma. Anuprapanna. To follow. Gata agatam. Gata is to go, death. Agatam is to come back. Birth and death. Birth and death. Gata agatam. Gata agatam. Kama kama. Desiring or the sense enjoyment or the sense gratification. Labhante is to attain. Now Paramatma says, having enjoyed the pleasures in the heavens, when the fruits of their merits get exhausted, they return to this mortal plane, this Shri, this earth again. Thus, abiding by the Vedic precepts and desirous of sensory enjoyment, they are repeatedly subject to the cycle of birth and death. Accumulate some punya karma here, go to the heaven, exhaust them there, come back, take birth again, go back with your punya karma. It is like you have some money in your savings account. Every month you go and draw 10, 15, 20,000 rupees, whatever you need for your monthly expenses, and you enjoy your life with that money. You are living your life comfortably. One day you go to the bank, and the bank manager, though he may be your good friend, he will tell you, boss, there's no money in your account now. Please go back, earn some more money, put in our bank, and then come back with your check. Then we can give you the money. Same way happens in heavens. When our sattvic karma, our punya is exhausted, we are sent back. So those desiring of sensory gratification, those performing virtuous deeds prompted by the desire of some wish or the other, such people who have to repeatedly travel to and forth, to and from this mortal plane, that means from the earth to the heaven, heaven to the earth. This Gatagatam continues. In this context, okay, let us see what is heaven. It is the level wherein your own mind fulfills your unfulfilled desires. Your own mind fulfills your unfulfilled desires. That is heaven. There is no physical plane or sphere called heaven. So when you go to heaven, you don't get a 3-bedroom hall apartment there. Yeah, this is heaven. Your apartment is there. There is no such heaven. All the description of heaven that are available in our text, these are nothing but the reflection of excessively desired driven mind. स्वर्ग में जाएंगे तो आपको इतना मिलेगा, वो मिलेगा. There are desire driven minds. A man was performing severe tapa austerities. Someone asked him, why are you doing all this? Your body has become so thin, you may die of doing this tapa. He answered, I am doing this because I want to go to the heaven. So the person asked him, why do you want to go to heaven? The man said, heaven has all the heavenly damsels, beautiful women. And of them, I like the most Menaka. Earthly women whom I see here are no good. They are no good. So this is what people have in their mind, that they want to go to heaven to enjoy the this kind of pleasures. He said further that these earthly women, they don't attract me. I have seen the personal experience of my friends. Before marriage, all women are very beautiful, but later on, they become fat and ugly. I don't want to marry a woman who becomes fat, old, and ugly. I want celestial beauty, Swarga Saundarya, because firstly, she will always remain sweet 16. Secondly, her body will never sweat or emit foul odor. Thirdly, her sexual appetite will never go down. Fourthly, she will always be happy and smiling. And lastly, she will always obey me. Now, can you find any such woman on the earth? So, are you able to visualize what a lusty and sensual man that person could be? These are the thoughts about heaven you have in mind when you are doing a tapa and sattvic karma. With this notion in your mind, are you in your senses? Can the mind of a sage or Rishi even think like this? Such a man is neither a Rishi nor a wise person. He is simply greedy of sense pleasures. He says, if I work in any office or shop, how much will I earn on this earth? And whatever I earn, it may get stolen. My relatives may do me. I want to go to heaven where I will be safe. And how long one will stay in the heaven? Well, how long will a manager allow you to stay in the hotel where you go to work, staying in the hotel? As long as we have the required money, be it cash or credit card. Once you run out of cash or exceed your credit limit, he will politely ask you to go show the door to you. You can enjoy the luxury, the amenities in the hotel only as long as you have the money to pay for it. Likewise, you can enjoy the pleasures of heavenly things, heavens, only as long as you have the wealth of merits, sattvic karma, punya sanchay. Once that runs out, you go back to the world of mortals. So heaven is the imagination of some greedy or some people who are interested only in sense gratification. And this is a very deep-rooted greed, one that is not very easily satiable, cannot be visibly satisfied. So those people, they remain in the dreams of heaven, that heaven mein aisa milega, waisa milega, all that. Doing sattvic karma with this notion in mind is absolutely rubbish. We do sattvic karma for getting one with Paramatma, not for attaining heaven. So Bhagavadgītā has raised our thinking level. What we were taught by our parents or our grandparents was attainment of heaven is the highest objective, highest goal. Bhagavadgītā says no. Even if you go to heaven, you have to come back. This way is to attain Paramatma. In 8th Adhyaya, this is Shloka. Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravarti norjuna mahumupetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. That is our objective. Brahmaloka is the topmost of all heavens. Krishna says people who attain Brahmaloka, they also have to come down. Punaravartino, they have to come down. But those who attain me, they get rid of birth and death cycle forever. And that is the objective that we are learning Gita. To get rid of the cycle of birth and death. and to become one with Paramatma. Heaven is a small objective. Just leave that now. Because heaven is not permanent. Again you have to come down. Again go back. Again come down. And some is life, some birth it may happen there. We don't go back to heaven. We further fall down because of our papa karma. So this opportunity what we have got as a human life, let us use it for attaining Paramatma, not attaining heaven only. It's a small objective. Okay. So let us proceed to slok number 22. Another important, very important shloka. Ananyāśchintayanto māye janah paryupāsate teshaṇ yogakshemam vahamyaham. Yogakshemam vahamyaham. This is very, very important phrase. Ananya, with attention, focus, nowhere else. No ananya, only on me. Chintayanta, to concentrate. Mam, on me. Ye, those who, jana is people, persons, paryupāsate, properly worshipping, tesham, of them, nitya, always, abhiyuktanam, they are fixed in the devotional service, devotion. Yoga, that is their requirements, their needs. Kshemam, the protection of their possessions. Kshemam. We'll see what is yoga and what is kshema in details. Vahami, I carry out, I take the responsibility. Aham is I. So Paramatma says, Ananya Chintayanto ma yajana paripasate, tesha nitya viyuktana yoga kshemam vahamyam. But those who worship me alone, single-pointedly, focus only on me, who are exclusively devoted to nothing else but me, who continually meditate upon me without any motivating desire, nishkam. I do their yoga and kshema. I accord them what they lack, that is yoga, to attain what we don't have. Paramatma says, I give them that. And I preserve for them what they already possess, that is our kshema. Yoga is to get something which we don't have, but we need. And kshema is to protect something which we already possess. Now, those who happily carry out the sinful acts are not scared of anyone or afraid of any consequences. Thus, they very brazenly keep on with their papa karma. And those who are desirous of heavenly pleasures, they carry out the sattvic karma, the meritorious act. And thus their fate is decided by their choice of actions. So what is left then? One is doing papa karma, one is doing punya karma with some expectation. Two people. So who is the third person? What is left? The true devotee, the true bhakta, the one who is wholeheartedly devoted to the Lord without seeking anything in return. Nishkam. Sattvic karma wala is expecting heaven, he is doing that. But this bhakta is doing nishkam. There is no motivating desire, no prowling vasana, no underlying fear in his mind. The devotee takes the refuge in the Lord with his heart full of divine love only, and is immersed in the continual remembrance of the Lord. Shri Krishna says, the yoga kshema of such devotees is done by none other than me. I take care of their yoga and kshema. The devotee has nothing to worry about. The welfare of the one who thinks only about me is taken care by me. As you think about your well-being, as you constantly think about your own self, there is no need. Lord says, I take care of that. Now, first thing we need to understand is what is yoga kshema. What is yoga and what is kshema? Attainment of Parabrahma, the Supreme Lord, is our yoga. That is what Lord will help us. Shri Krishna says, this I know better what is your yoga and what is your kshema. I impart yoga to my devotee. God knows better than what we do, what we really need and what we really need to protect. Now people have interpreted this statement as they please. Some believe that it means Lord takes care of all the sensory things that we need in the life. He will give us food, He will give us shelter, He will give us money, He will give us house, He will give us car, He will give us clothing. Because our enslavement for this sensual gratification is such deeply rooted that we think that attaining this is the only objective of life. But Paramatma says, I know what you want. I will give you only what you want. Yoga does not mean Paramatma will only give what we want. He may even take out what we really don't need and what we may deviate from our path of spirituality. See, having excessive money is also not good. You must have read in newspaper or seen on TV. A family who gave a 2-3 crore car to his son without license, no number plate. That boy, young boy who is not even an adult, he goes to a pub, he goes to a bar, he drinks up to 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, drives the car at 220 kilometers, 230 kilometers, and runs down to software engineers on the road. This is the result of excessive money. If he did not have that much money, he would have done this. So Paramatma knows if you are walking on this path of spirituality, he may even take out some money from you. Because if your money is deviating you from the path of spirituality, it is better to have you with less money. So he may arrange a theft or robbery in your place for our yoga, for our kshema. He will protect only what we really need. He will give us only what we really need for attaining Paramatma. Yoga means union. That the union between the devotee and the divine is yoga. And that is what Paramatma will give us. Daily bread and butter does not mean yoga. And in the course of pursuing on the path of spirituality, the Lord protects the devotee's endeavors, his efforts. Otherwise, the mind will go haywire here and there. That is yoga. And whatever sadhana he has already attained, to protect that sadhana, that is the kshema that he gives us. Now, you may interpret this as you wish, but the bottom line is that there are many unseen forces protecting the spiritual efforts made by sincere devotees. And this is what is known as kshema. Shri Krishna says, I had yoga kshema for my devotees who continually abide in my remembrance. Lord says, I protect the devotees from the trap of their wayward mind. Mind can go haywire, can start demanding many things. Where the Paramatma says, I do all that, but the conditions apply. What is the condition? The condition being that you first need to become the devotee in the true sense of devotion. So before believing that God will protect you from everything, first ask ourselves, are we a true devotee of Lord Krishna? Are we a seeker, a devotee who has completely surrendered to Lord Krishna? Have we taken the refuge in Supreme Divinity? The Lord will look after your yoga and kshema only if you are a genuine devotee. Else, you will engage in performing either the sinful or pious activities. And mind you, if the sin binds, so does the virtue. Sattvic karma also binds, not only the sin. And when we are prospering, we are earning more and more money, which is called our Utkarsha Kal, our time of prosperity. Our scriptures say that your Utkarsha Kal is also your Ghat Kal. Your downfall starts only when you attain too much, more than your requirement. As we discussed, if you have excessive money, then you start doing more and more papa karma. If you have got all pleasures in life, you start doing all papa karma. Kunti used to say to Lord Krishna, Lord, please keep on giving me some dukkha. Because when I'm in dukkha, I keep remembering you. When I'm in sukha, I'm not remembering you. So devotees are such that they demand dukkha from Paramatma so that they can go on remembering him. See, you will be amazed to see how the criminals among themselves they talk in prison. Once 4 criminals were sitting together in the prison, and one inquired to the new entrant as to how he has come to the prison. He said, I knifed someone, but he did not die. So I have been sentenced for 6 years. Another said, that's it. Go and sit in that corner. You miss the fellow. You have done two, I have done two murders, and our leader sitting over there, he has murdered 10 people. You are not eligible to sit in our company. The person you knifed did not even die. In jail, this is how the dialogue goes on. How they keep boasting and comparing their magnitude of crimes. If the sinners have egoistic attitude, the ones who have accumulated merits are not lagging behind. Once it happened that a new temple was being constructed, the workers were breaking stones and the name of temple was being put on the construction board. A passerby from the side, he wanted to find out which deity was to be installed in this temple. So he asked some worker, whose temple is being constructed here? An elderly worker replied, it is said Deen Dayal's temple. Said Deen Dayal's temple. That is being built. The passerby said, that is fine, but I asked you, whose temple is it? I did not ask you who is constructing it. The worker replied, sir, you don't understand. The Lord actually does not need the temples. The temples are constructed these days only for the rich businessman, so that the board should read, said Deen Dayal's Gopal Mandir. First, the gentleman's name will come, and only after that will come the name of the deity of whom the temple is being built. So the temple is actually for the businessman and not for the Lord. Thus, both the doers of sinful act and pious actions, they heave under the burden of their ego. The devotee, on the other hand, is free of this burden. The true devotee, I mean. For he is neither righteous nor unrighteous. See, a rope is a rope, irrespective of whether it is made of gold or it is made of jute or silk. Either way, it is going to bind you and tie you down. A devotee unties himself of all ropes. He does the charity, but not for fulfillment of any desire. Instead, he feels he is simply distributing the Lord's wealth amongst the needy. Everything belongs to Lord. Nothing belongs to me. And nothing belongs to me. That is the sentiment of a devotee. So he simply shares all God-given assets with everyone, seeing them as the children of God, like he himself is. So this is the end of 22nd shloka. I think we have spent a lot of time today. So let us stop here and we'll cover the remaining shlokas in the next session. Thank you so much for listening. Jai Shri Krishna to all. Now the forum is open for your questions.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time for question answer. If anyone wants to ask questions, please raise your hand and on your camera so we can spotlight you and you can ask your question. I could not see any hand raise. Anshuman Bhaiya, if anyone is there, please spotlight the person.
Not yet, Didi.
Okay, if you have any questions which you want to ask in the next session, you can reserve your questions and put up in the next session as well. I saw some comments that the volume was low and people were not able to listen properly, probably. So that could be one of the reasons. I will see if we can improve upon it next time. If there was some net problem on my end, I will try to look at it. And I will make sure that this does not happen again. If there was a problem from my side, if most of you were not able to hear properly, then there must be some problem at my end, which I will try to resolve. And I'm sure next time, this kind of problem will not be there. So if you have any questions, you can put it down now or you can ask in the next session.
Someone raised the hand. Please on your camera or at least Dr. Chauhan, you want to ask some question, please on your camera. Or
Unmute yourself. I'm sending a request.
it's okay. Let him ask.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sir, your voice was throughout very good, very nice. There wasn't any problem listening you because From beginning to the end, I was continuously listening you. So there was no issue from your side.
Okay, okay. That gives me a great relief. I thought there was some issue from my side. Okay.
So there is no question, so we can move. Okay, someone raise hands. Okay. Bhaiya, please unmute the sadhak.
Mute yourself, please. Yeah, Bhaiya.
I would like to clarify to Dr. Saab that some systems had that problem. Even I had the same low volume.
Okay.
So I brought and put another amplifier in my earbud and tried to use it. That means it varies from system to system. Maybe from your side, Dr. Bhaiyaji, but there is slight output is low. Maybe your microphone.
Okay, possible.
I would like to, because it depends. Because after using my earbud, I could hear. See, up to 50%, I was not able to get the clarity.
Okay.
Then I just felt maybe something wrong and I used my earbud. Then I could follow the last half.
Okay.
This is how I just checked the total speech of 1.5 hours.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. This is just for your feedback. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else who wants to speak, or we will move for the prayer? Okay. Sir, should we start the prayer?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So it's time again to offer our prayers to Krishna. So for the prayer, I would like to invite Pranya Praveen Kapre ji. She's from Pune and she's a housewife, and she's giving her seva as technical assistant in level 1, 2, 3, and she is also a student of L3. So Pranya ji, please start the prayer.
Jai Shri Krishna. Yogesham Sachidanandau Vasudevam Vrajapriyam Dharma Samstapakam Veeram Krishnau Vande Jagat Gurum Shri Krishnau Vande Jagat Gurum. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna Didi. Thank you for the prayer. Now it's time to close today's session. But before the closing, I want to thank all the technical team for today's session, and also want to thank all the Geeta sadhaks who are present here and listening very carefully. So now it's time to close the session. Before that, we will play the Hanuman Chalisa. If it is possible for you, please stay for the Hanuman Chalisa. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारी बरनउ रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि करहु कलेस विकार जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र ध्वजा विराजय कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजय शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबेको आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबेको रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर सहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही समभाई सहस अस बदन तुम रोजस गावै अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीना तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर पल जानु प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज समारो आपै तीनों लोक हाकते कापै भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवै महावीर जब नाम सुनावै नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावै सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा जिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै सोई अमित जीवन फल पावै चारों जुग प्रताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत की तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नो निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावै जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावै अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटई मिटई सब पीरा जो सुमिरै हनुमत बल बीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर गोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़ हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय।
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you all the sadhaks. Looking forward to meeting all of you again for the next session next week, 9th chapter's next part. Thank you for joining us.